What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mr. Bones Wild Ride, and happy Halloween. I hope you're excited. As far as our opening hand goes, we do have Phyrexian Arena and 2 lands, but as far as the rest of it, yeah, I'm not wild. Let's go and mulligan. Kind of want to have a little bit. Oh, yes, beautiful. I'll keep on this one in a heartbeat. Lightning Greaves on Skeleton Ship. No, let's go ahead and put that on the bottom. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Put that on the bottom. But yes, happy Halloween. Hope you're excited to take a ride on Mr. Bones' Wild Ride. Just giving you a heads up, once you get on the ship, you can't get off. There's no stopping point. It's Mr. Bones' Wild Ride for a reason. You can never get off. So it's a decision you have to make, and actually you've already made the decision because you've clicked on the video already. So we're stuck here forever. Let's go ahead and get the Misty down. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. We're playing Skeleton Ship, Mr. Bones' Wild Ride. When you control no islands, sacrifice Skeleton Ship. Tap, put a -1 counter on target creature. Playing it Sliver Queen, 2 mana. Create a 1/1 colorless Sliver creature token. Pretty simple. Let's go and crack the Misty. And then, fun fact: Skeleton Ship, when you control no islands, sacrifice the ship. That is 100% true. That is not flavor text. I did it earlier in playtesting, and I just had like Drowned Catacomb and a bunch of value lands out there. No island, actually. And Skeleton Ship was not too happy. It was like, hey, I'm done. Going back to the command zone to get me some good water. I'm just going to get fetid pools down. That sounds pretty good. Get that down, and then anything. Let's see what we draw into. Hopefully we draw into another black source. That will be online for Hero's Downfall. Kind of pop the Sliver Queen. We'll see if we're actually playing against Slivers. Kind of depends on... sometimes you play against Sliver Queen or any of the 5-color commanders. Just 5-color good stuff. Beautiful. We hit a second black source. Let's go ahead and get down the command tower. I think I like that, and then we're going to go and pass the turn. So, we do have Impulse in the hand, so we can go for Impulse, and then next turn we have Ancient Tomb to get down Jason Mind Sculptor, kind of start generating some value off of that. But yes, welcome to Mr. Bones. This is my official Halloween deck, so if you're new to the channel and you're trying to figure out why we have Mr. Bones Wild Ride, this is my Halloween deck. I put out holiday decks from time to time. I do a Trustani token build for Thanksgiving sometimes, which is always a lot of fun. Is that almost like an Underground Sea? Yeah, pretty much. Yep, that is almost like an Underground Sea. It's fetid pools, but yeah. It's a good fetchable source if you're looking to play online and kind of upgrade your mana base. I don't think it's that much, and it's a good way to kind of grab a black-blue. Right now, like we need an island for Skeleton Ship. It comes into play tap, but it's a good searchable source. That way you can leave stuff like Underground Sea later on for stuff for you to grab. Let's go ahead and go for the Impulse, and then I'll kind of finish what I'm talking about with the different holiday decks that I do for my channel. Let's go ahead and get that going. Okay, so let's go ahead and go for that Impulse. Tap out, see what's on top. And I love Impulse. It's one of those cards, I didn't have it for a long time, and I finally added it to a lot of my blue decks, and it's just, love it. Love digging deep into the library. Now, so we have Freed from the Real in this mix that we can go for. We're at 4 lands. We're going to be able to brainstorm with Jay, so I think at this point right now, I'd like Freed from the Real. If we're going to be taking care of some of those slivers, I like having that as an option to go for Skeleton Ship. Okay, so we draw into a Grim Affliction. Let's go and get the Ancient Tomb down. Let's start brainstorming with Jay. So looking at blue, and 2 off the Ancient Tomb. Get that down. At this point right now, our opponent has no creatures out there, so we're just going to be looking at a free brainstorm every turn, which sounds absolutely delightful to me. Let's draw 3 cards, and then also, after we get this turn done, I'll kind of explain what we're doing with Skeleton Ship itself. Bantu's Last Reckoning and Underground Sea. Let's go ahead and put Bantu's, well... We might need a board wipe. If we're going heavy slivers, I think we should go and hold on to it. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Let's go and put the island back. And then I guess, since we have Hero's Downfall, let's go Grim Affliction. We're going to put that back on top too. That way we can get down the Marsh Flats next turn, kind of shuffle it up, and we'll draw into that Grim Affliction and have some of that removal. Anything else? We're going to go ahead and pass the turn to our opponent. But yeah, as far as this build of Skeleton Ship, we do have a -1/-1 counter theme in here. We have stuff like Freed from the Real, which we can get down onto Skeleton Ship, and for 1 blue mana, untap the creature. So if you have a ton of blue mana out there, you can start just going to town, which always feels really good. It's Words of Wisdom. Draw 2 cards, and each other player draws. Oh, heck yeah, I like that. Grim Affliction, and we'll draw into that island too. But yeah, so with Skeleton Ship, you get Freed from the Real on there. You start activating that blue mana, untap enchanted creature, and it's kind of like, I like to envision it like maybe some like skeleton cannons on the side or something like that, blasting those -1 counters at creatures. I don't know, it feels good. But yeah, outside of the -1 counters, we do have this is pretty much a black-blue control deck, just nasty black-blue control. That's all it is. I felt that it would be very fitting for Halloween to do that. Let's go to get the marsh flats down. We do have underground seas in the hand, but let's go and crack so we can get a fresh look at the top 3 cards of our library. Let's go and grab the, at this point, yeah, we'll just go and shocking him. We'll go and get down Watery Grave. Go and pay 2 on that one. Let's go for the Brainstorm. Draw 3 cards. Put a card back on top. Cavernous Souls, Tide, and then, man, we just saw that in the hand. Wanted to come back, I guess. We don't really have to worry about a counterspell, I don't think. Let's go and put Cavernous Souls back on top. Let's go and put Island back on top. Now, if we go for Worn Power Stone, that's going to be 1, 2, 3. Comes into play tapped. If we get down to Scarab God, we don't really have much going on in the way of Scarab God. Let's go and get the Skeleton Ship down. I think I like that. It's Halloween. We need to get Mr. Bones onto the battlefield. So we're looking at blue, black, and then Watery Gray for 2. All right, get that down. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. So we can get freed from the reel on Skeleton Ship. Hopefully if they start getting some of those value slivers out there, then we can start blasting it with Skeleton Ship and start going from there. I don't know, it just feels like there's just a couple of times where when you're playing online, we're doing a chunk. I think I'll hold on to the Tide just to kind of see what's going on. Bantu's Last Reckoning. We'll go and get rid of Grim Affliction. We're going to get Skeleton Ship down. I think we'll be okay on that one. We could proliferate on Jace, but I think we're going to hold off. But yeah, so when you play on Magic Online, every once in a while you kind of run into a really old commander, and it's very apparent very quick that you're in for a treat. Like it's like not just like, oh, I found this old card, and that's how I always like to imagine our opponents getting paired against Skeleton Ship. They see Jace coming down, Brainstorms, a bunch of other stuff like they're like, uh-oh, what we got going on? Stepped into an ant pile. That happens on Magic Online sometimes. You'll get that old commander, and it's like you stepped in an ant pile. You're like, ah, dang it. Got taken out behind the woodshed by some random legendary creature. But yeah, that's kind of the deck in a nutshell. It's kind of more black-blue, good value stuff core in there. And then we also have a bunch of cards to kind of support the Skeleton Ship, which, to be honest, it's really not that bad in Commander. Like, because when you're building a Commander deck, sometimes you have certain decks like Gitrog. Like, it's really hard not to build a Gitrog-focused deck. Like, it's really hard not to. You're doing it wrong if you don't build a Gitrog-focused deck with a bunch of lands. Now, something like the Skeleton Ship, it's a little bit more of a weaker Commander. We have to have an island on the battlefield. It's 5-drop. We have to tap to put up 1/-1 counter on a creature. So it kind of needs a lot of help. We can run some cards like Free from the Reel to really take advantage of Skeleton Ship. But outside of that, your deck has to pick up for a lot of the weaknesses of your commander. So that's why I ended up going Source of Plowshare. That's fine. We'll gain some life. We'll gain 0 life. But yeah, that's why I ended up going just kind of black-blue control with this one because, I don't know, it's fun. Kind of like building different control style decks for commanders sometimes. Let's see what we draw into. Draw into another island. So there's no creature cards in the graveyard at this point right now. I'm just going to go for a Brainstorm with Jace. Look at the top 3 cards. See what's on top. Tezzer's Gambit and Cavern of Souls. We need to, hopefully, if we can find a fish line to kind of shuffle our library up, that'd be good. Let's go ahead and put 2 back. I guess we'll go and put the Tide back, and we'll go and put Cavern of Souls back. Let's get the Skeleton Ship pop back up. Let's go for Worn Power Stone. Come to play tap. We still have the lane drop for Sword of Feast and Famine. Yeah, I like that. Ancient Tomb, tap down. And then next turn, if we can either go for Skeleton Ship or we can get down the Scarab God and kind of get a clock going on our opponent. Get the Underground Sea down. Let's go for Sword of Feast and Famine. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. That way we're not getting into spots where we have to discard a bunch of stuff at our end step. And then we'll go and pass the turn. But yeah, so we do have the -1 counters in here. We do have a kind of a proliferate theme in here. You can see we have Tezzer's Gambit. And we also have stuff like Grim Affliction. And over last year's deck, what I ended up doing was I put out Skeleton Ship last year, and in fact, if you want to watch it, go for it. It's in the playlist section. It's a year ago, and I was still kind of learning the ropes as far as what I was doing with my channel. So, quality-wise, it may be a little different than what you're used to expecting, or if you don't, if you feel that my videos now aren't that good, I should be in for a surprise for next one. But yeah, I did it last year, so if you want to check it out, go for it and kind of see the differences. But this year, I kind of really amped up the value cards, so we have stuff that can really help you kind of win the game once it gets onto the battlefield. Stuff like the Scarab God, I added Sire of Stagnation to the deck, and I really amplified the Planeswalker count in the deck. So I got stuff like Obnixilis in here, and a few other different cards. Like in fact, I got an Obnixilis Ultimate the other day when I was testing the Skeleton Ship, so we can kind of use Proliferate to our advantage. There's another game where I got a Tameo Ultimate, which is really fun. And then actually, I'm kind of liking this match right now. We're just kind of just getting some drawing cards and doing a bunch of setting up. So we haven't really seen anything from our opponent other than just 5-color, I don't know, peak and swords and harmonize. So we'll kind of see what our opponent's up to in a second, see if we can't figure that one out. See what we draw into. Hopefully we can get a fetch land in here somewhere. Cavernous Souls, okay. Yeah, I guess we'll just go and brainstorm. Draw 3 cards. Skeletal Scrying. We don't have that big of a graveyard going right now. Let's go and put the Tide back on top, and then we'll go and put the Cavernous Souls. Let's go and make the land drop for the turn. If we want to go for the Scarab God, let's do that. Let's go Scarab God. That's going to be 1/2 off the Worn Power Stone, black and a blue. That's going to put us on, if we tap the Ancient Tomb, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Still have the land drop for the turn. Tezzer's Gambit. Yeah, I'm going to tap the Ancient Tomb down. Get the Scarab God down. And they don't have any mana to tap, so at least we're going to go ahead and put the Sword of Feast and Famine onto the Scarab God. That way we can at least, you know, if they have some sort of black removal spell, we can give that protection from any sort of removal spell. Let's go and get the island down. So we're going to get the swamp down. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. Now, if we kind of want to shake up the top part of our library, we do have Jace next turn for a Brainstorm. We did draw into Skeletal Scrying, so we can at least kind of tap out for, we have 4 cards in the graveyard, so we can lose 4 life and draw 4 cards. Now, the main thing with getting down the Scarab God and the Sword of Feast and Famine is that we're going to be able to swing in and untap all of our lands. So we can actually kind of go for Tezzer's Gambit, kind of draw a couple more cards. If we want to proliferate on Jace, we can go for that. And then we can also, if we just simply just want to get down the Skeleton Ship as a removal source, we can go for that. Alright, opponent went for Vindicate, destroy target permanent. Took care of the Jace. The good thing about that is that we can still use... that's a good thing we put the Sword of Feast and Famine onto the Scarab God, because that Vindicate would have been a good target for the Scarab God. I mean, we would have got it back to our hand at the end step, but still, at least they kind of used it on Jace instead of that. But yeah, so we may end up going for Skeleton Ship and getting freed from the reel on there. That way we can just start kind of pushing in with the Scarab God. Alright, Time Twister. I will definitely welcome that. Doing a Skeleton Scry. Nah, I think we're okay on that one. Get a fresh grip. We got our own Time Twister, and we do have just stupid. Every time we play Magic Online and like our opponent has a card and I have the card, I think of that SpongeBob meme where he's just like, I'll do my own thing. So like when they go for Time Twister and they time twist us into a Time Twister, I can't help but think of the SpongeBob meme. Alright, but we did draw into Tameo, which is really good. So we can get down Tameo, we can start tapping something down. I'm not sure exactly what we want to tap for. We could go for the Coffers, but at this point they don't have Urborg out there. They've only got really one swamp, and this actual swamp itself right there. So we'll kind of see exactly what we want to get down. Look at target player's hand. Sure, go for it. Now, with the Scarab God, we need to start getting some reanimation going. We have no creature cards in the graveyard at this point right now, so we'll figure out exactly what we want to go for. Or if our opponent gets any sort of creatures out there. But it looks like right now it's just kind of 5-color control. So we may end up kind of sticking the Scarab God for as long as we can. Oh, and we did hit Swiftfoot Boots, which is good. So we'll probably get that onto the Scarab God. Let's go and do that. In fact, let's go and do that now. Let's go for Worn Power Stone. That's going to be 1, 2. And that still gives us just enough mana to get down Tameo and then untap. I think I like that. Let's put it on the Scarab God. It's going to be our kind of our win condition right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 total mana. I think I like going for Tameo on this one. Yeah, let's get down Tameo. And then either way, we're going to tap the Ancient Tomb down. So 1, 2, 3. Get down Tameo. And we'll see exactly what we want to tap down. As far as our colored sources, they have Command Tower out there, which you can really tap for anything. I guess let's go and take down. We're just going to tap down the Command Tower. That way they don't have free access to color. And it's going to make the Sliver Queen just a little bit smaller because it doesn't look like they're getting them out just yet. Anything for 1? No. Let's go and push in for 7. The good thing is we have protection for black and green with the Sword of Feast and Famine, and we also have Swiftfoot Boots. This is one of those beautiful times in Magic where you get to imagine the Scarab God wearing those fire boots and having a Sword of Feast and Famine swinging across. That would be... If I was a Magic person, like within the game, I'd be pretty scared. Because he's already a scary dude to begin with, the Scarab God. And so imagine him carrying a big old sword that's like black and green fire, and then boots that are on fire. Yeah, that's a pretty gnarly image right there. Alright, so we're going to get the Sword of Feast and Famine. They discard a card. We get to untap our lands. Do we want a Grim Tutor for something? Let's make 1, 2, 3. We can get down Necro Skitter. Yeah, let's get... Man, I feel like it's Halloween. We need to get Skeleton Ship going. Let's go for that. We'll give it one more shot. I really do enjoy. I have a lot of fun playing the skeleton ship. It's always fun when you can get those on there. Could go for Grim Tutor. Hey, let's get skeleton. It's Halloween. Let's get down the skeleton ship. All right, get that down, and that way, if they do get the Silver Queen out there, we can slowly start putting those -1 counters on there. Anything else? We're going to go and pass the turn. Kick it over our opponent. Now, we do have Tamiyo in the hand. We don't really have any Proliferate at this point right now. So if we wanted to, we could Grim Tutor for something that's going to give us Proliferate if we want to get to that -8 on Tamiyo. You can see where just simply kind of, if we get that Tide card down, it's a 5-mana enchantment. We get that down, start casting some spells. You can really get to an ultimate really quick with some of these Planeswalkers. And getting the Tamiyo ultimate, it's really hard to deal with the Tamiyo ultimate. As soon as we have no max hand size, and then whenever a card is put into your graveyard from anywhere, it doesn't really matter. From anywhere, then you get to return it back to your hand. So you can do stuff like Time Twister. You can just keep Time Twisting into a good hand that you want, or anything like that. It keeps going back into the library. So Tamiyo Ultimate is definitely a good win condition for the deck. But yeah, as far as the different holiday decks, it's just I always like to. If you're new to the channel, I do different ones. I do Uncle Borby for Christmas, Barigmos, whatever his name is. It's the one that throws lands. He likes to throw Christmas presents. And then on 4th of July, I do Namat, Jeskai Dragons. All right, opponent's going to go for a Grim Tutor. Now, we have our own Grim Tutor. I don't have any hand disruption in here right now, so whatever they're searching up a board wipe. It is what it is. The good thing about the Scarab God is that we can at least get the Scarab God back and kind of re-rack on Swiftfoot Boots and Sword of Feast and Famine and kind of go from there. Well, actually, if we want to, we can just simply Grim Tutor for a counter spell. If we want to do that, we may end up doing that. We'll kind of see what we want to do. But I think that might be a good option if we go for an actual counter spell itself. I'm pretty sure I put counter spell in here. I know I do have Arcane Denial as another way to kind of get some counter and some card draw in here. All right, see what we draw into. Also, with them having Grim Tutor, we can simply just Time Twister, kind of mess up whatever that tutor was. Do they have any creatures in the graveyard? Nope, can't do anything in response to that. See, we draw into Manamo. Okay, let's go and get Manamo down. Now we're gonna have Sword of Feast and Famine. Let's go on and Grim Tutor. Yeah, I think. Do we want a Grim Tutor to get something onto the battlefield and then go for Time Twister? Just kind of chance it. Yeah, let's go. Let's start up something on Grim Tutor. See what we can go for. Let's make this just a little bit bigger. Okay, let's go and go for Torment of Hellfire. I like that. We might be able to bust a pretty good Torment of Hellfire. Hey man, that's a pretty good Halloween card. That sounds fun. All right, what do we need to get down first? Let's go and get down the Nest of Scarabs. Let's go and tap down a permanent. Let's tap down the Command Tower. Yeah, I like going for Torment of Hellfire. That sounds kind of fun. It's Halloween. We've gotten to the point in the game to where, you know, if we wanted to be cutthroat, we can. And we got to get some good Halloween cards going. All right, let's get down Nest of Scarabs. It's going to be 1, 2. Actually, make sure we don't go down too low on this. It's going to be 1, 2 off the Worn Power Stone. Tap for black. Get down the Nest of Scarabs. And then anything else we're going to go for. If we go for the Ancient Tomb on Necroskitter, it might be, yeah, we'll kind of pass on that one. All right, let's go and push in. Push in with the Scarab God. They're going to have to discard a card, and then we'll have a pretty nice Torment of Hellfire to go for next turn. All right, swinging in for 7. It's going to put them down to 15. So we can get rid of a card doing it. We can't add that mana in response to that. Well, we could, but we don't have an instant. Okay, Sword of Feast and Famine. They're going to discard a card. And then let's go ahead and go for that Torment of Hellfire. It's going to be black, black. Make sure we tap for black on that one. There we go. And next is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. There we go. So if they want to, they can get rid of some of the cards. They do have 6 cards in the hand. They do have the Ivory Tower out there and the Darksteel Ignite to kind of sacrifice. So if they did tutor up something like a board wipe, worst case scenario, we're going to get the Scarab God back and we start pushing in. Maybe they get rid of some good value cards in the hand. At least we can kind of go ahead and force the Torment of Hellfire. And with us having Tamiyo out there, I kind of like going for Torment of Hellfire. Why not? Let's have some fun. At worst case scenario, we go for Time Twister, get it shuffled back into our graveyard, back into our library. Okay, they're going to take 3 on that one, go down to 12. And once again, the magic number is 7 with the Scarab God. They go down to 6. Okay, anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. So, and with the Scarab God, it's going to go to the graveyard if something does happen to it. So this has been a good little match right here. And then if we want to, we can kind of bring it. I don't have Exsanguinate in here, and that is unfortunate. And also, I do not have, what is it? Grey Merchant. I don't have Grey Merchant in here, so that's not anything we can kind of search up. Okay, our opponent's tapping out for a bunch of mana. We could have gone for Time Twister last turn, but I wanted to go for Torment. Okay, we got Kozilek coming down. Kozilek, draw four cards, Annihilator 4. Alright. Now, we do have Toxic Deluge in the hand, but Toxic will not stop a 12-12. We're at 9 life at this point right now, so I'm not going to be able to do anything against Kozilek. But we can... I think we can still tap down Tamiyo. We can use Tamiyo to tap down Kozilek. I think that's correct. Annihilator 4 doesn't have a haste option right now. Our opponent's at 6, and we have the Scarab God swinging in next turn. They did not put any creature cards into the graveyard, so I think we're okay. And sorry, I had a little bit of a cough earlier, so I had to mute the mic real quick. I want to make sure that I was still talking. All right, opponent's going to go for Opt, and then we can still get a -1 counter on Kozilek just to kind of have a little bit of fun. Get it on there. Make sure we got the official -1 counter on Skeleton Ship. Cross that off your bingo chart if you want to cross it off. Okay, opponent's going for Wheel of Fortune, which is really good for us because we'll be able to draw 7 cards. Prison in the Moon, we can actually target that on Kozilek and just swing in for clear. I like that. And I guess at this point, maybe they're just kind of Wheel of Fortune for maybe like something like Force of Will, I guess? We'll see. But we've got the Tamiyo tapped down on Kozilek. I think we'll still, just to be safe, we're going to go for... do we have any skeletons we can go for? We can Necroskitter in response to that, get an extra scry going. I think at this point, yeah, we'll just go for Prison in the Moon. We don't have to worry about the Scarab God activation right now. Let's see, we're drawing 2 Notion Thief. Let's go and go for... Let's go and Prison in the Moon actually on Kozilek. And the reason for that is we want to... I don't know if we tap down Tamiyo and we swing up the Scarab God, they have some random 1-mana untap spell. I don't know. This way, it's just going to become a land. That way, we don't have to worry about anything. All right, Kozilek's going to turn into a land. Beautiful land, too, by the way. It's going to get the island down. It's going to get on Crumbling Ashes in case our opponent has some sort of funny business before we swing in, just to make sure. Get down, and then we'll also have Arcane Denial, too. And then let's go ahead and tap target permanent, tap down the Dark Steel, actually tap down Kozilek, that way they can't use that. And then push in with the Scarab God. I think that sounds pretty good. We could flash in Notion Thief if we want to, but I think as long as this goes through, we should be good. We'll go and send the Skeleton Ship in. Why not? Happy Halloween. Get that ship cruising in. Swinging in for 7, that should put our opponent down to -1 unless they have something like, I don't know what they could do to have to beat us. So I think yep, there we go. We got it. Put our opponent down to -1. Playing against Sliver Queen. 5-color control, I guess. It looks like it was. Did see Hellkite Overloader in there. Yeah, it doesn't look like it was Slivers, but hey, that was a pretty good match. And happy Halloween. If you're going to go out tonight trick-or-treating and go to any sort of Halloween parties, make sure you have fun and be safe. So, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.